Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB game schedule for Friday, July 11th, 2025. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your baseball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily rundown best bet in Major League Baseball, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Friday, Major League Baseball. First up, the Chicago Cubs taking on the New York Yankees. We've got Carlos Rodon for New York, but no official starter right now for Chicago. Now, Carlos Rodon's not been his best as of late. You look at that last game against the Mets, 6 runs given up in 5 innings, but a lot of his most recent starts have been on the road, and now we see him pitch at Yankee Stadium, where he does have better numbers this season with a slightly better ERA, but also a much better opponent's batting average, much lower opponent's batting average in the 100s. So I think the Rodon can bounce back in this one. He's been sharp overall in 2025. The Cubs have decent numbers against lefties in the last month, but still outside the top 10 in team OPS with a pretty steep strikeout rate to go with it. I look for Rodon to go 5-6 strong innings. I think the Yankees have the bullpen advantage as well, and those Yankees, the Yankees offense really woke up in that Mariners series. So give me the Yanks in this one on the money line or even the run line potentially at Yankee Stadium. Next up, we've got the Marlins and the Orioles. We've got Dean Kramer and Edward Cabrera as the projected starters. The Orioles are coming off the doubleheader on Thursday. I know the Marlins also had to play a game in the afternoon, but I mean, this Marlins team's been great as a road dog this season. We're getting a plus money price here with the fish yet again in this spot. Cabrera's been pitching well. He's got a 3.3 ERA on the season. Kramer was pitching well for Baltimore, but did struggle quite a bit in his last game. The Marlins have done pretty well against right-handed pitching in the last 30 days. I think while the Orioles have the bullpen advantage, I think the Marlins have the starting pitching advantage. I think their lineup can compete. Give me Miami at a great price on the money line. Next up, the Rockies and the Reds. We've got German Marquez and Chase Burns as the projected starters. Now, Chase Burns, we know he's got a lot of upside to his game, a lot of potential, and great strikeout stuff. And I think that matches up well with this Rockies team that you could argue is the worst offense in baseball, especially when they're away from Coors Field. I don't think the Rockies do too much in this game offensively. I think Burns could go over a strikeout prop, and I also think the Reds should be able to get to Marquez. Now, Marquez, in his last game against the White Sox of all teams, gave up a lot of sharp contact. Seems like he was in trouble every inning in that game, and Chicago was able to take advantage and win that game on the road. I think Cincinnati, a Great American, should do some damage early in this one. I'm going to roll the Reds in this one on the run line at Great American. Next up, the Mariners and the Tigers. We've got Luis Castillo and Tarek Skubal as the starters. Now, I do think this is going to be an overall competitive series and a fun series to watch, but I think in this first game, I got to roll with Detroit. I mean, the Mariners have been solid against left-handed pitching, especially in the power department in the last month, but the Tigers have also been great against right-handed pitching, and I think Skubal is the much better starting pitching option in this game. I've talked about Luis Castillo. I think his numbers on paper don't really tell the full story. His expected numbers and underlying numbers are a little bit scary, and I think going forward, especially in the second half of the season, we're going to see him struggle, especially away from home as well, where he's already got an ERA of 4.67 on the season on the road. So I'm going to roll with the Tigers in this one on the run line, laying the 1.5 runs. Next up, we've got the Rays and the Red Sox. Drew Rasmussen for Tampa Bay, but no official starter right now for Boston. Now, Rasmussen's had a great year overall, maybe not his best last 5 games combined, and most recently, but I still think that Rasmussen is going to put together a good outing here. He's got good numbers against the current Red Sox lineup. Boston has definitely improved their numbers against righties in the last couple of series, but I still think that whoever the Red Sox go with as starter, Rasmussen is going to be the better option. I think the Rays bullpen will be fine in the end of this one. Not my favorite game on the board right now. I'd like to see some more info for Boston with their pitching, but I'm going to lean towards Tampa Bay for now on the money line. Next up, the Guardians and the White Sox. We've got Shane Smith and Gavin Williams as the starters. Now, about a month ago, I would be all over the White Sox in a spot like this, getting plus money at home against, with Shane Smith on the mound, who's been the White Sox best starting pitcher. Gavin Williams has been pretty inconsistent this year. I would think it's a great spot, but I just can't get there with Chicago with Shane Smith's current form. He's given up 5+ runs in 4 straight games, and you could say, he pitched at Coors Field, he pitched at Dodger Stadium, he faced the Diamondbacks, great lineup, and the Guardians are none of those types of matchups, but I still just, when you see Smith as of late, not missing as many bats, his control's been off, missing inside and outside the zone. He's given up at least 1 home run in 3 straight games, which is not like him at all because at the beginning of the season, He was one of the best starting pitchers in baseball, keeping the ball in the yard. So in his current form, I just can't get there with the White Sox. I think the Guardians, who had a great series offensively against Houston, should be able to get to Smith, and I think Williams will be okay enough, and he's coming off one of his best starts of the season. So I think the Guardians win, and I also think Cleveland has a huge bullpen advantage. So give me the Guardians on the money line on the road. Next up, we've got the New York Mets and the Kansas City Royals. We've got Michael Wacha facing his former team going up against Kodai Senga, who returns from his hamstring injury, hasn't pitched since June 12th, so right around a month, and I think we see a lot of runs in this game. I think Senga, while he's had a great season overall, we talked about his expected numbers being pretty steep before the injury. Now his first start in about a month. I know the Royals have not been a great offensive team this season by any stretch, but this is a team that's improving offensively as of late. Jack Caglione is starting to get going. We've seen some really big home runs for him recently, and this is a Royals team that does a great job at limiting strikeouts, putting the ball in play, working pitch counts. I think all those are bad news for a strikeout-dependent starter in Kodai Senga, who I think his pitch count's going to rise early in this game, and I think it's going to be an early exit for him. And I also think that Wacha, while he's been a lot better at Kauffman Stadium, and his recent struggles have been mostly on the road, this is still a Mets team that's been hitting the ball very well against right-handed pitching in the last month, and a Mets team that's been in the current Mets lineup that's been able to get to Wacha for a lot of sharp contact in the past. So at Kauffman Stadium, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, kind of a back-and-forth situation. I'm going to go with the over in Mets-Royals. Next up, we've got the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Minnesota Twins. We got a great pitching matchup in this one, Paul Skeens and Joe Ryan. Now, I expect a pretty low-scoring game, but I actually do like the Pittsburgh Pirates to find the win. Now, both of these starting pitchers know what it feels like recently to pitch well, but their team doesn't back them up, and the team ends up taking the loss. Hasn't been always that case for Ryan. At the beginning of the year, the Twins were winning a lot of his starts, but now, as of late, even though Joe Ryan has given up 3 runs or fewer in 5 straight games, the Twins are just 1-4 in his last 5 games. Their offense has been super inconsistent. We've seen some great moments, some great series from the Twins offense against righties, against lefties, and then we've seen them really struggle to get anything going like we saw early on Thursday against Colin Ray. So I think that Paul Skeens goes 6+ really good innings. I think that Ryan also pitches well, but he's given up some sharp contact recently, and then you look at the past meetings between Ryan and the current Pirates lineup, they've got an expected slugging percentage above 400. So I think it's only going to take a couple of solo home runs for the Pirates in this game, maybe O'Neal Cruz, who I think is worth a look for a home run prop in this game, for Pittsburgh to find the win. I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Pirates on the money line at a great price on the road. Next up, we've got the Rangers and the Astros. We got Jack Leiter and Lance McCullers Jr. as the starters. Now, these are 2 starting pitchers that have been up and down this year. I mean, both have ERAs above 4, and their control has been a big problem at times. But recently, I would say Leiter's control has been a lot better. I mean, he's given up just 2 walks in his last 2 games combined. Lance McCullers Jr., on the other hand, has given up 4+ walks in 3 straight games. His strikeout numbers have been inconsistent, and against his current Rangers lineup, they've been able to get to him in about 60 plate appearances, a very low strikeout rate, a pretty high walk rate, and a 376 xWOBA. I worry about McCullers Jr. in this game. I think Leiter will end up being the better starting pitching option. I think the Rangers win this game on the road. Now, this Rangers offense has not been great on the road overall this year, but it had a big series against the Angels. I think if they can carry that momentum over, it should be a pretty good series for Texas. This is a very important series for both teams, but give me the Rangers in this first game on the money line. Next up, we've got the Brewers and the Nationals. We've got Mitchell Parker and Quinn Priester as the starters. Now, we've talked about how Quinn Priester has been a cash cow for the Brewers as of late. They've won a lot of his games. They've won his last 5 starts. And even in a game like the last one against the Marlins, where he really didn't have his best stuff and he struggled, he gave up 4 earned runs in 4 2/3. The Brewers still backed him up. They still scored 6 runs and won that game 6-5. And I think it's going to be, a similar situation where I don't think Priester's going to be perfect, but you're up against Mitchell Parker, who's not been good on the road in his career. The Brewers have been much better against lefties as of late than they were at the very beginning of the season. I think the Brewers have the much better bullpen in this series. So whether it's early or late, I think Milwaukee gets the job done. Give me the Brew Crew on the money line and run line. Next up, we've got the Atlanta Braves taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. We got Grant Holmes and Matthew Liberatore as the starters. Similar to Paul Skeens, I mean, this has been a disappointing season for Grant Holmes because while he's pitched so well with a 3.44 ERA and he's 12th in strikeouts, 118 and 102 innings, he's got a 4-8 record, and the Braves have lost 4 of his last 5 games. it goes to show you the win-loss record is irrelevant when looking at how good a pitcher is. It is still relevant, though, to look at it when you're looking to pick a winner and handicapping a game, because the Braves have just not been very profitable with Holmes as a starter because their offense just hasn't been there. They've scored 1 run combined in the last 3 starts for Grant Holmes, even though he's been excellent in all 3 of those games. And I can't get there with Atlanta in this one. I mean, Matthew Liberatore, it's been the opposite for him. The Cardinals have won 4 straight of his starts. He's got great numbers against the current Braves lineup. The Braves have been dreadful against left-handed pitching in the last month. I got to roll with St. Louis in this game and the under in Busch Stadium. Next up, we've got the Diamondbacks and the Angels. We've got Ryan Nelson and Tyler Anderson as the starters. Now, at the very beginning of this season, we saw the Diamondbacks really struggle against left-handed pitching, but as of late, they've been stellar. I mean, we know they crush righties, but against lefties, they're also top 10 in baseball in team OPS. Their isolated power numbers have improved. Their walk rate is really steep at 10%. So against Tyler Anderson, I like the matchup for Arizona's bats, and I think Ryan Nelson has proven to be a pretty good starting pitching option. You know, at the beginning of the year, he was featured out of the bullpen, but as a starter, he's pitched well. He's been a profitable starting pitcher. I like the Diamondbacks offense more in this game. Now, this is a Diamondbacks bullpen. It's been tough to watch at times this year, many times this year, but the Angels are in that same boat. So I got to roll with Arizona here and the over in this one. Next up, we'll go to Petco Park as the Phillies take on the Padres. We've got Ranger Suarez for Philadelphia. No official starter right now for the Friars. Now, Suarez has been great this year, sub-2 ERA, just barely 1.99, but a 1.06 ERA on the road, 4-2 record in 42 1/3 innings. Does a great job at keeping the ball on the ground, even though he's given up at least 1 home run in 4 straight games. His ground ball rate is still above 50% on the season, and I think he has a great outing. I mean, the Padres have not been great against lefties in the last month and really overall this season. Philadelphia has won 4 of his last 5 games. I think the offense will be there enough for the Phillies to walk away with the win. So in a lower scoring game, I'm going to go with the Phillies on the money line and potentially the run line on the road. Next up, we've got the Blue Jays and the Athletics. We've got Luis Severino and Max Scherzer as the starters. Now, I don't think this game will be low scoring. I think we go well over the total in Athletics Blue Jays. Luis Severino has been dreadful in Sacramento this year. 0-8 record, 7.04 ERA, and 61 1/3 innings. The Blue Jays are number 1 in Major League Baseball and team OPS against right-handed pitching in the last month with a solid isolated power number to go with it. Low strikeout rate, high walk rate. I think Severino's in trouble. I think that the A's can chip in some runs against Max Scherzer, who I also think does not pitch too well in this ball game. I like the over in Blue Jays Athletics. Next up, we've got the Dodgers and the Giants. We've got Dustin May and Logan Webb as the starters. Now, when you're looking at the current numbers for Logan Webb against his current Dodgers lineup in the past, he's faced them quite a bit. I mean, he's pitched with the Giants since 2019, so facing the Dodgers a lot every season. He's got over 200 plate appearances against the current lineup, but a low strikeout rate, a pretty high walk rate, and a 375 xWOBA for Logan Webb in those matchups. However, he's pitched so well at Oracle Park over the years. I mean, just this season, you look at the home and road splits, he's got a sub-2 ERA at Oracle Park in 59 1/3 innings with a low opponent's batting average, only 2 home runs given up. And he did face this Dodgers team not too long ago, back on June 13th. That game was actually at Dodger Stadium. He went 7 innings, a 2-run ball, and a Giants win 6-2. So he pitched well against the Dodgers this year. The Dodgers offensively have been very inconsistent in the last couple of series. Dustin May's also kind of been inconsistent in 2025 with an ERA above 4.5, a 6.27 ERA on the road. I've not really backed the Giants too often in recent games because of their offense being just not really, trustworthy. But I think they do enough here against Dustin May behind Logan Webb to win this ball game. And we know they always play up when they're facing the Dodgers. So I'm going to roll with the Giants in this one at a pretty good price on the money line. And that's it. Those are the games for Friday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the experts tab at pickdawgz.com. And there is a link in the description. As always, it's Romanelli. Good luck.